And joined right now by head women's basketball coach Jenepher Banker, following Daemen's 83-48 win over Roberts Wesleyan to close out the weekend. I guess, Coach, just your initial reaction. You guys got the weekend sweep done today.
Yeah. That's I was happy with our way our players responded today. We weren't very happy last weekend with our Sunday results. So I thought our players did a great job of making that adjustment and being ready to play both days.
Another big game from your two forwards. Friday was Michaela Ivey, had 21 points and 16 rebounds. She comes back with 18 more points today, and then Caroline White with a career high 23. Did you see anything specifically that Roberts Wesleyan was doing that they were able to exploit?
Yeah, I felt like Roberts was really trying to take away a couple of our other players. So, that's the nice thing about our team is if that happens, other players step up. And I think that's what we saw this weekend was other players stepped up. If they want to try to take away one weapon and somebody then steps up and is ready to go. So I was happy to see that.
Sure. Over 80 points for the fourth time this season in 7 games. And I know you've told me before that you don't spend a whole ton of time talking about offense. Just how is this team able to have so much success at the offensive end?
Yeah, we really don't. We really focus so much more on the defensive end. And so I think defense creates offense. And I think if we play good defense, that creates a lot of our offense. Also, we talk a lot about spacing and, things that we do. We hope we have good spacing and then allows them a little freedom. And we've got players that have some good skills. So if we can play D and give them the space they need, they're pretty effective with that.
Defensively as well, as you mentioned, that's kind of, been your guys' forte, and 29 times in the last 35 games now you've held teams to 65 points or less. And I want to ask you something specifically. Roberts has a really talented player, Paige McCormick, who played 3 years, played 80 games at UMass. And in these 2 games, she was a little bit better today than she was Friday, but in the 2 games, you held her to 5 of 21 shooting. Talk about the defensive effort you guys gave on her specifically.
Yeah, she's a really good player. And I'll tell you, team defense for sure. I also thought Mickey Ivey did a great job on her. So, the individual efforts of Mickey and then the team efforts from everybody else, were able this weekend to get us that result because she is a good player. So I thought our players did a good job of executing the defensive scout, really, both on Friday and Sunday.
6 straight wins now in the series against Roberts Wesleyan, who traditionally speaking has been this program's longest standing rival and closest school to us that we play traditionally. A little bit different now that Duville has come in the league, but with 4 out of your 5 starters coming from Section 5 schools, which is the area that Roberts is in, do you think they find it more satisfying to beat, quote unquote, their hometown team?
I think they do. I think they get excited for that. Obviously there's, a lot of their fans are from the Rochester area, a lot of families from the Rochester area. So yeah, I think they do. I think they get hyped up for that.
Sure. And knowing that, there's some recruiting battles going on in this area between, you and Roberts Wesleyan, how much does it help you recruiting wise to have the success that you've had recently in this series?
Yeah, I think, I also think it's helpful that, such good players from the Rochester area, T was player of the year in Rochester, Alana was player of the year in Rochester, and Karen, Katie were both, probably could have been players of the year, very close to it in their subsequent years. So, you know, that's really good talent. And I think that is helpful. That's helpful because I think Rochester players realize we have some really good Rochester players in our program.
Just looking ahead, the schedule for this week is a little bit different than what we anticipated, with D'Youville's team being in a pause. So your game Wednesday has already been postponed. So that's going to open up about a week and a half gap here between games. So you won't play again until you play Roberts Wesleyan on February 17th in Rochester this time. You know, what'll be the focus for you guys over the next week and a half?
Well, we'll go back. We'll go back and work on things that we need to work on, that, you know, will help us not only do better against Roberts, but be a better team overall. And, you know, we'll also wait for the phone to ring, because that's what happened this past weekend. You know, somebody called and wanted to play. We couldn't play because we were playing Roberts, but, you know, there's a chance, you know, we have to stay ready. There's a chance that somebody might call and want to get some games in, you know, some D1 schools. That's what happened this past weekend. And we would love to play those games if they come up. So, you know, we'll see. We just have to stay ready and just continue to work on things that we need to get better at.
Okay. Well, congrats on the weekend sweep, Coach, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.